No volume, Nicole.
Let's be real. You keep saying you'll get visible after things totally calm down, right? Meanwhile, your calendar is feral, like a crazy cat, all over the place. Colors, you can't even remember what they are anymore. Your inbox is totally on fire. Yeah, you wish you could set fire to it. And later has been lying to you for years because you know what? The truth is, you are the best kept secret, my friend. You're busy doesn't equal visible. Hard work doesn't magically broadcast itself across the radio waves. Nope. That's why the Brew and Stew Media Spotlight exists. That's right. A collaboration between Nicole Borgi and Colleen Stubbs. One booking, two podcasts, no pitching, no chasing, no pretending you enjoy the outreach. We know you don't. Nobody does. You show up, you talk like the authority you already are. Your message gets heard on purpose to an aligned audience. Stop waiting. Stop hiding behind the busy button and book your Brew and Stew Media Spotlight package now because staying invisible is a choice and you're not going to do it anymore. You're going to be visible. You're going to be influential. Scan the QR code. Make that choice for the Brew and Stew package. Busy, booked, exhausted. Your inbox is screaming at you like a siren. Your calendar is still feral. Still calling yourself visible and you're just the best kept secret? Turns out I was right there with you, my friend. Wasn't getting seen, was just the best kept secret. Wasn't getting heard, definitely, kind of getting paid. But here, the magic, my friend. It's a collaboration between Colleen Stubbs and Nicole Borgi. The Voice Lab on the school platform shows you how to use podcast spotlights, summit stages, and simplified, yeah, that's right, simple outreach systems so your visibility actually works. Get seen, get heard, join the free Voice Lab on the school platform, and you're going to get it all. Because if you're working this hard, someone else should know about it. Scan the QR code today. Welcome, wonderful beings from wherever you're at. Here we are back on the Voice Lab podcast. We are here doing the thing, doing the do. It is Tuesday, January 20th already. Oh, look at that. Little housekeeping we're going to talk about, you guys. Really, this is what it's all about. It's all about the Lab. It is all about leveraging your visibility. This podcast coincides and goes with, marries well with the Voice Lab on the school platform, which is super amazing, easy to use. It's a community for those who want to get on the stage, be seen, be heard, get visible and simplify their systems is for entrepreneurs doing everything and ready to do what actually moves the needle. And this is why we're here today, bringing all kinds of good tidbits today. And I'm going to put some stuff in the chat. I just want to get the housekeeping out of the way. Yes, check out the Bruin Stew. What is that? You're going to get on the package of Monday morning business foreplay with Colleen. And that's a live, a bit of a networking event that we add in there so people can share their information. Also, you got a guest, we get Q&A. You get to sponsor yourself in there. You get a chance to do that. Also, you're going to come on live. Both these podcasts are live on the Pain Point podcast. This is all about business and solutions and definitely visibility. Go in and check the school platform out. Why? Because not only do we have the freemium accounts, but we have the premium and the VIP. That's going to get you visibility because we've got something to announce today, and we're going to start sharing summits. And that's coming up if you're on the Voice Lab platform. I'll share that stuff in just a minute. There are summits that are coming up monthly, quarterly. We're going to have stages for you to come, get seen, get heard, stand on the stage, shine. And best of all, get noticed. Is a great way to market yourself. And that's what we're here to support you fully. We've got Devastated to Divine Alignment coming up this Thursday and Friday. And that is all about getting seen and heard and visibility. It's not just visibility on the stage, but understanding, your voice, being able to share the message to people and share a connection. So, we know you've walked through the fire and you've really faced that storm and you looked pain dead in the eye and you said, not today, right? But we're here to stop surviving and start soaring. So we want you to thrive. That is a free summit upgrade to support confronting domestic violence. More information will be in the chat. But welcome to today because we got an amazing podcast of what we got going on. And today we're talking about they subscribed. Don't waste the moment, right? You got people to subscribe, or are they hearing you? Are they seeing you, right? Colleen, are you truly visible? People subscribe to your email account, yay. They're on your CRM. Are you talking to them? Are they showing up to support you at your podcast? Are you sharing other people's podcast? Are you getting seen and heard? That's what it's about today. What to say after, hey, thanks for joining. This matters because most people lose their subscribers, not because their offer is bad, but because, their welcome emails leave people confused or overwhelmed with the 20 different things you want them to do. You want them to support them, you want to bring them in, and then eventually you're going to have that workflow set up so you can have full support where people are coming to your events and they want to support not only you buy into your products and your coaching packages, but you want them to come to the stage. You want them to be aligned and feel supported. Come to your events, come to your courses, come into Voice Lab. That's how we get people in here. It's by constant connection. What does that bring up for you, Colleen? Because, you get new subscribers and then there's a bottleneck, right?
Right. And coming from the brick and mortar world, I'm going to turn that around a little bit. So let's imagine that we open the boutique and we have people walk in. Now, I didn't say they ran in. They didn't run in and grab the first thing they saw and run to the counter to buy it, but they walked in and they were looking around. That's the same as them getting on your email list, right? And so that's like, do we just ignore them because they came in and they're looking around? No, what we do is we say, hey, how about this? This looks like something you might like. This looks like it might be useful in your life. This might help you in your business, right? You have to approach these people. They've come in and shown interest by walking in the door to your store, the door to your business. They've come in, they've opened the door and come in. And so if you just ignore them or wait for them or don't respond or don't interact and build a relationship, don't have that nurture email sequence in place, then they just turn around and walk out. Now, that's not to say that just because you greet them when they come into your business and you begin visiting with them and finding out more about them, maybe they don't buy something that time, but that's okay. They've come in and they've understood that they're comfortable there and that you're their people, right? And so then maybe they leave, but they come back next time after the next email, or maybe even the next email. Maybe they grab the next thing you're offering. Maybe in your third email, you've linked to a blog post, right? And maybe they go read that, and that builds that relationship a little bit more. But if you don't take advantage of them walking in the door the first time and start building out that email nurture sequence, then odds are they're not coming back in the next time.
No, they're not going to come back because they don't remember you. We've got too many tabs open. We're constantly bombarding people with so much. Maybe I can get myself in the middle of the screen. Hey, right? So there I am a little bit more. Hey. So yeah, really, people get bombarded by so much stuff, and it's really what is the constant message you're saying? It, you can get tired of I'm saying the same stuff. I'm going over this all the time, but you can't get there alone. And one of the things is that we're busy being busy and constantly doing the thing. You have a chance to get seen and heard, get on the mic, speak at a summit, get on someone's podcast, and the best way to be the absolute most fabulous guest ever is to show up and shine with a bio, a short bio, and your lead magnet and say, hey, I'd love to share this with your people. If they haven't asked you about sharing a lead magnet, bring one anyway because you want to drop it in the chat or have it go out in someone else's email. And definitely support their podcast. If you're coming on for free, you've got to share it to your people. If you don't have that email open, you're not sharing it to your people. And you want to have a group of people that are collaborating with you and supporting you. That's why we brought in started working with doing Voice Lab podcast to give little tips and tricks. Show up every day. Hey, we're showing up live. It helps move the algorithm. It helps us get seen and heard, but we want to give you more value. Not only that, but we're here to support you, and you cannot do this alone. You want to work with a community. You want to work with like-minded individuals. You want to network with those people that are aligned. That doesn't mean they're in the same business. It doesn't mean that everybody does the same. If you're doing your CRM, I'm recording some video. There's someone else out there that runs a network event. Maybe there's a speaker trainer. Maybe there's a leadership and a business strategist that's out there. We're aligned because we can work together and we can partner up and collaborate well, and you get people to refer you. But I want to show you a clip from Alex Hermosi today about not doing it alone. So let me bring this up here and share this and make sure that everything's on. I don't know why Zoom keeps changing everything around. So don't do it alone. Get out there. This is very powerful here.
There's a version of the business that could be $1 billion, not $100 million, but the $1 billion, the $100 million can't run through you. Right now, it's so painful to think about that because I think a lot of our vision is basically we can think about the edge of our pain horizon. It's like, whatever our current thing is, how much more pain can I currently take? Maybe 10 times more pain. Okay, so I'm at 5, I could maybe get to 50. But to get to 50, it's not going to be doing 10 times more pain of what you're currently experiencing. It's a different type of pain, which is how much control can I relinquish or release to other people that I can actually trust, who are aligned with my values, who will be able to propagate the way that I do things throughout the org. There's a version of the business that could be $1 billion, not $100 million.
All right. So what he says classically is that it's the money can't run just through you alone, right? If you're lifting up higher, do you find, Colleen, that you have to let go of control of a little bit more and be the true leader of your team to strengthen that so you can make more money, be more profitable, and then take a day or two off somewhere?
Yeah, and not only that, but you want to be able to continually show up as your best self. And when you're doing it all yourself, you can't do that. But I think that the key in what Alex was saying there is the alignment, right? And trust. You have to be in that community with people that you trust and that your values are aligned, your business is aligned. You're not going to walk into the boutique to get a party outfit and get a skirt and a blouse and a dress. That wouldn't make any sense, right? You're going to either get the skirt and the blouse or the dress, right? You need to make sure that you're getting what's aligned so that you have from each area somebody you trust that can carry that part of the load. And so whether that's a VA or whether that's somebody that runs your summits, or maybe it's somebody that just takes care of your inbox for you, but have those pieces in place so that you're freed up to truly show up and shine as the best version of yourself. And what it boils down to, I hear so many people saying, I can't afford to do that. I can't do that till I'm bigger. Honey, you're not going to get bigger until you do that. Let's be brutally honest.
That's so true.
You can't level up until you relinquish some control by trusting yourself to make a good decision about whether people are in alignment, whether their services are in alignment, and whether you can trust them. You have to trust yourself first to make good decisions.
Well, 100%. You have to trust yourself, and as you're moving and growing, a good leader is able to automate and delegate. And that's delegate to the right people. Sometimes that just means being able to trust somebody in a networking group that you can come to, that's going to have the camaraderie and the connection and the engagement. And a good leader is going to say, hey, let that person run their event so they can edify you well and support you well. And you're supporting them. You're good in that community. You're supportive, you're in servitude, you're offering value, that person, you're the norm in the room at the cheers, walking up to the bar and everybody's like, Norm, hey, they knew him by name. They looked forward to seeing him, and Norm was a lot of time a background character, and that's what this is about. Norm's coming 5 days a week after his job, and he's going to come by, that you can count on that person. And you're starting to see, it's that I believe it's the reticulation, when you see like a red truck on a street, and that's the truck that you decide you want, that GMC, I think is a GMC Sierra, and you decided you want that truck, and so all of a sudden you're noticing all these red trucks, right? So when you start to notice and grow as a leader, you'll start to notice other leaders so you can support them. That doesn't mean take the stage from them. There are so many people that walk into the room and then they get the mic for 5 minutes and they want to show everybody how much knowledge they have, and they buck up and they're like, or they, maybe it's like the bird, the parrot, not a parakeet, what is it? Peacock with the feathers, right? They want you to see their plumage, how cool, how much they know. Nobody's going to listen to you because you cut off the host. But B, the other thing is who's going to respect you, because they're not going to understand why you're doing what you're doing or what just happened. They're going to go, what happened? And then the next step is you're not, if you only have 5 minutes, people aren't going to know everything about you. They're going to trust you when you get on a call. That's the time to do it. Support the person in the room, and that can be you, because that next time it'll be your turn to get on the stage. That's why for me it's so important in a summit to offer places for speakers to not only get seen and heard, but to give them maybe something like a speaker panel so I can interview them and give them more time. Let them be on the stage. Give them control to ask questions to each other, for the audience members to come in. It's not only community, but it's the ability, I think, in a soul-led leadership to trust that audience is going to support you and ask questions that are going to really give some critical thinking and truly be able to be comfortable asking any question they want. That I have these fantastic speakers on the stage that are experienced and have knowledge and that can answer that question. May seem a little challenging because I didn't hand out the questions before, but they're not zingers, right? They're questions that you as a leader, as an expert in your business, that you can answer.
So when I hear you say this, Nicole, I want to flip the script just a little bit. And I want to say, when you're walking into these networking meetings, when you're sitting in these communities, whether it's a networking meeting or a school community or a membership, whatever that looks like, when you're sitting in there, even if you have I'm just going to use this example, a storytelling coach, and you go to her group sessions and there are other people in there, instead of looking around the room and saying, okay, who can I trust? Who can I trust? Who can I get to come in here and support me? I feel like the quickest way to build the trust is to look around that room and say, trust your gut, listen, see who shows up repeatedly. Just take a little step back and visit that arena, however many times you need to, just be like, who shows up repeatedly? How can I support them? How can I support them? How can I best support them? Because when you're supporting them and you find the people that align with you and go support those people, they're going to notice that you're supporting them. And then it becomes a two-way street of support. Instead of going in like, who can support me in here? Who can support me in here? That's not, it has to be, who can I support that
Yes.
will in return benefit my business by supporting me? And you have to be the player and the leader that does that, right? Look for the consistency first. Like Nicole said, nobody wants to trust somebody that isn't consistent in showing up, at least showing up, because if they're not showing up for themselves, they're sure as hell not going to show up for you. And so you need somebody that's showing up consistently and somebody that's in alignment with you so that you can say, okay, I want to go support them. I want to support them. How can I help them? And then that turns around.
Yeah, you know that that's true exactly. Who are you supporting? And show up and support the event host. Maybe share the event. Maybe you know, when you're in other places, that and that's a good thing, going back to the email and collecting the leads. Maybe you're sharing their event, posting it on your school calendar, sharing like, hey, there's a good event of trusted, like-minded, aligned individuals that we want to support. And there goes back to leadership and saying, hey, I'm trustworthy because I A, show up. I'm trustworthy because I have a repeatable message. And even though you may get tired of saying it all the time and it's copy and paste, people want to know that you have enough knowledge and you know what you're doing. You know what you're talking about, that your message is very clear and concise and that they can count on it. Oh, here's Colleen, here's Nicole, here's Lynn, here's Mary. I know that they've got a great message. I can invite them anywhere and not be embarrassed and be like, oh my gosh, nobody's ever going to trust me to refer somebody if I bring them in. Who are you bringing in to showcase as well? And that's why it's good to have a community like this to say, I can trust this person. I want to refer good people. I want to share them with you, their events, and post that in there. Here's a good event on Thursday. Here's a good event on Monday. We know these people, we've trusted them, we've talked to them, and I talk to my speakers before they get on the stage. We have a form of communication. Majority of the time, we get on either a speaker call or a one-to-one call, and the reason for that is I want to know who's coming on my stage, or I've known them from an event before and what they're bringing forward, like an event I have today. It's at 12 Eastern, which is absolutely awesome. It's a GSD summit. So of course I've got my GSD journal that I'm sharing with it. And the reason I'm supporting this event with Summer and want to be on her stage is because I know that she provides great information, she has great experience, and we can collaborate. We both do stages, but we're not competing. We're both sharing messages of stages together and sharing with people that it's worthy to grab the mic and go and come on the stage and share a message. We're aligned with different people. We do a few different things and we do things a little bit differently. I even go into virtual reality and I'll start bringing back that in maybe the spring. So we'll have hopefully have some event or two in there. But we're aligned. We have community, we have connection, and we support one another. And people understand that when you know that connection, you cannot do this alone and say, hey, I'm not going to be on your stage because we do the same thing. You don't always have the same message.
Yeah, and so let's go back and touch a little bit on how we can guide new subscribers. So once you get on the stage, you're seen, you're heard, you have these email lists. These people have walked into your business and said, I'm here to learn more. How do you guide them? How do we get them to a point where they're buying? We all know that it's not a one and done thing. Usually it isn't a one and done thing. And so those emails, your first one needs to be welcoming. It needs to go back and reiterate where you met. It needs to reiterate what you spoke about. You need to just touch back on those. Then I would suggest that the second one, first of all, every email you have should be interactive in some form, something that they can do to interact with you. Because you have to have your 14 touch points, let's just throw those in your email too, and not all in one. But maybe your next one is like, hey, a continuation of my presentation is my lead magnet. Did you get my lead magnet? Here is my lead magnet, either a call, a workbook that goes along with it, a PDF, whatever that looks like, right? Make sure they have that there. And then talk a little bit about why that would be beneficial in their business or in their life, right? And then maybe the next email after that shares a blog post. Maybe the next one offers them the opportunity to jump on your newsletter list. But each one should also have a connection button so they can reach out when they're comfortable. And after all of these emails and they're going through these, receiving these, they're not hard sales. They're like get to know you emails, right? They're welcoming them into your world and sharing all the things you're about. And somewhere along that point, as a trust is built, they're going to want to reach out. So you need to make sure that that connection link is also in there so they can hop on your calendar, right? Nicole, what does that look like for you when you're going through your emails and creating those? Do you create 2 follow-up emails or 5? How does that usually work for you?
I have two follow-up emails just even for subscribers. I like to have a couple follow-up emails in the automated workflow just for people that I'm connecting with. Maybe they jumped on my Calendly and my calendar and said, "Hey." So we've had a discussion and I share with them a little bit more about, "Hey, glad to meet you. Glad you're here. I'm all about visibility." And then I share either a networking event, the Voice Lab, the same thing from the event. Hey, I met you last week at Invisible to Influential. Glad you got my cool thing, my really cool lead magnet. I believe the last one was Virtual Stage Mastery, or the VIPs get to book a call. And when I do that, then I say, hey, met you here at this event. Glad you were there. Thanks for dropping in. And then go, hey, join me here. Let's work on some visibility for you, or what that looks like for you. Come into the class. It's not to sell anything right away. That's going to happen through a series of weekly emails that will say, hey, where I share stories and tips on something. And then event, I'll start to, hey, maybe there's something I'm selling, a product or service, but there's a value ladder of where that goes in. It's not just right away.
Right, exactly. And so even if it just leads into being added to your weekly email list or your newsletter where you're dumping that value and just really sharing it, um, then that's important because it's still building the relationship and that is a way of building it long term. And I do like to always share something personal also in my newsletter. Like I always have some story from the farm or the grandkids or something that I'm able to tie back to my business. And then, like you, I like to share a little tool or tip also in there. I know you share lots of little tools and connections and things like that in there also. So just make sure that when we're reaching out through those emails after the fact that we're really there to build the relationship, right? Build that know, like, and trust factor. And then the next time you're on another summit, another speaking thing, make sure they're invited. And I would also say, if you're inviting them to a networking event, I like to say, let me know if you're going to be able to attend. I'd love to attend with you. And
Absolutely.
you can, if it's like when I was introduced to one networking event and it was a long one, it was a 2 hour one. I had no idea it was 2 hours. They just said, join us at this time and this for the networking. I assumed it was an hour. Had they been a little more clear with me and gone in with me, I wouldn't have been so caught off guard, right? And it was a great networking event. I still go, but it was that initial discomfort that could have been avoided if the person had gone with me or met me there or however that looks, right?
Well, 100%. It's really like, hey, let me know you're going. I'll be there with you. I invite you to this event. I want to say hello when you're there, or people when I go into a networking event, or I'm in a class, or a mastermind or a group, and I go into the chat too and say, "Hey, glad to see you. Haven't seen you in a while, or glad you had a chance to stop in. Drop your information. Come back. See you in a week. I'll still be here." And then they can come back, and you know that they've showed up. But there's a few people that I've invited, and I don't see them, and sometimes it's kind of like unsubscribing. Well, thank you for doing that. You unsubscribed. I think it's addition by subtraction in the sense that maybe they're just not aligned.
Yes.
And then you're not dragging them along to something that someone's disinterested in, and there's a lot of time and energy that gets put in there. So that's okay. I look at it like, hey, that's okay, but try to reach out back to people and say, hey, I missed you at this event. Hope to see you next week. And if you can't go, guess what? It's really okay to say, it's just not going to work for my schedule right now. That's totally fine. Be honest. Don't tell somebody that you're going to be there and not show up.
Right, right. And sometimes I've even said, look, I just can't add more to my plate right now. And that's okay too. It doesn't matter why. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. But the idea is that creating your welcome emails is the best way to establish trust, clarity, and momentum from day one. And so that's super important that we don't forget the momentum part of that, right? So when you share things like Nicole and I are talking about in your emails, whether it's a tool, whether it's an article, a blog article, maybe it's the opportunity to join a networking event with you. When you share these things, what does that do for your audience? The person who's reading it, it keeps you top of mind.
Yeah.
And it can really be a good reflection on you. You go to amazing, if they go attend an amazing networking event with you, then suddenly they're like, oh, okay, up two notches in trust on that one, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
so in a tool, they can be like, oh my gosh, this tool. And I did that. I use a tool, Aragon AI, to do a lot of AI pictures. And I have shared that and shared that. And I have had people tell me every time I look at my pictures, I am so grateful that you shared that. And that is just building trust. And so it's so important to remember that this is just part of the benefit of creating that follow up when you're getting these leads. When they've walked in the door and they've said, hey, I want to be in your world, start creating those welcome emails, start getting to know them, start sharing things about you that they get to know you better. And really, it establishes trust, clarity, and momentum from day one.
Yeah, and it's establishing a clear tone. You're really branding yourself. And that is just the way to say, hey, I want to brand myself. I want to get out there. I want to be seen and heard, but that establishes the trust. So if your tone is funny, silly, playful, continue that in your emails. Don't just come boring. Don't forget your logo. Don't show your face. Nobody's going to know who you are. There's no relatability. You get
That's the
bombarded by
worst.
emails.
I hate when they don't show their face, right? And it's like our friend Lynn says, what are you, ugly? Like, no, we're ugly. Come on, we want a
Yes.
raw human. Get on camera. Let us get to know you, really. And then another part of that I love, Nicole, is the direction. You need to give direction, so that people know exactly why they joined, what's next, what to expect. And the thing is I thought when I started online, people don't need direction. They are freaking adults. They can figure it out. But here's the thing, it needs to be simple. Like my friend Nicole always says, keep it super simple. So it needs to be simple. And people have way too many tabs open. Okay. I probably have 20 open right now. But giving them a specific direction of things to do makes
Yeah.
them so they don't have to think about it. It's
People
not
want leaders.
right. And so that's just a part of the game is to do that, is to really share that direction and be like, this is what you need to do next. This is where I'll be next. Would you please join me here? Things like that. Be specific, go read this blog if you're having this problem.
Well, 100%. They want direction. They want to see you. They want to know where to go. And there's why, Alex Hormozy does so well, and so does his wife Layla, because they're not only are they out there on video all the time, but they're leaders. They share an action. Maybe it's a hand raising post. Maybe it's a direction of, hey, here you're getting on a call. It's just a quick moment. We're doing a live broadcast. We're on calls. Here's an answer. I'm going to surmise the situation, and that's what you do. I mean, you guys are welcome to do that absolutely here. We encourage more comments in the live streams, or hey, I'd love to see this topic. We want to know what interests you so we could talk about it and share those moments and share those processes. Get you seen and heard. It's not just about brew and stew and go out there and say, hey, I want to get seen and heard, get on a commercial, get on a podcast. That's very important. That's why we offer it. We'd be silly not to take advantage of that and sponsor ourselves, which people should do. You should absolutely sponsor your products. If you have something, let's say you have a vitamin, or I like, dehydrated greens. I put it in my protein every morning. If you got a dehydrated green and you either affiliate that, or you work with a company that does it, that's what the big podcasters do. Joe Rogan sponsors himself. It says whatever the podcast is, Amazing Greens / Joe Rogan. That's an affiliation. That's what we do here. That's what I encourage on the stage, is if you have a good, viable product that people, I know that you have something that's good. I've worked with you before. I've collaborated before. I know your product works. I'm happy to share it. And you should share it on your podcast. You should make a commercial and share it on your podcast. Sponsor your own stuff. We have commercials from clients that'll be coming up shortly. We want to sponsor them with everything. And that's how it works. This is marketing on a small scalable level. But anytime you can get seen and heard, if a commercial is played, how many times is it going out? How many times is it showing to the public? And this is what you need to look at. You could do Facebook ads all day and pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, and all that they do is collect data. They're going to tell you it didn't work and we need to do a new commercial and it didn't work. Or you can hire somebody for Fiverr for $5 in some, who knows, around the world somewhere, that you don't know is reputable, but they're on Fiverr. They charge you $5, and they might not put the right link on, but you don't know how to look for that as a good leader and say, I don't know enough about it to check. And so you're trusting that that might work. Okay, we do that in business. There's some fails, but how many times are you going to redo it? And why would you continue to do it? It's silly to continue to do that. People want to find you. And if you put a large Facebook ad out, are you going to be able to pick up the phone and answer all those calls? That's got to be crazy. Like when you have your brick and mortar calling, if you have too many people, you can't service, right? If your shop is full wall to wall, do you have enough pants and all the sizes for everybody?
Right. Exactly. And the thing is, I was thinking about that exact example earlier. And here's the thing too. When you order in your brick and mortar, and let's say that you order something that, let's just go with jeans. And so you're ordering them in size 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18. Now in the 18s and the 16s, you're probably only going to get one pair. In the 0 and 2, you'll only get one pair. All the other sizes, you get 2 of each. So what's your job as a salesperson with that is to take that and find the person that's going to fit. You're not going to sell it just like, okay, I have a pair of jeans for sale, and you sell one and you're done. No, because there's so many people that need it, and you can do it over and over with all the different sizes. And I want to talk about the leadership bit just a little bit too, because the greatest way to be a leader in marketing is to market yourself. And I don't say that lightly. I've always marketed myself, and it's interesting to watch the magic that happens when you do that and do it right. So for instance, I was 2 hours away in a town at a Starbucks of all places, and a little girl came running up, and she's, oh, the chicken lips lady, the chicken lips lady. I'd never seen this little girl before. I had no idea who she was.
And she
And her
knows
grandma
you.
was so embarrassed. She's like, oh my gosh, hi, we're so excited to see you. But she had heard me on the radio marketing my business,
How
my
funny.
voice, not a commercial I made and had somebody else create, but my voice, and then heard me ordering in Starbucks and knew that was me.
Oh, that's so funny.
And that is crazy. But here's the thing. I didn't go get bumper stickers for my employees and tell them go put these on their car. That's
Cups.
absolutely, oh, there you go. That's absolutely not what I did. What I did was I went and had my car decaled, had big decal put on the back of my car for my business. And I came in sporting the shirt. And then I had not only my people working there wanted the decals for their car, and they wanted the shirt, and then I had clients who wanted the shirts. And so that's how that works. But if I didn't step up and lead, there's not another soul in my business. There isn't anybody that I delegate to that would have come up and said, oh, let me go market you. You
Right.
have to be the leader that says, I am the brand and I'm going to put myself out there. You have to do that in order to be successful because nobody else is cheering for you, sis, like that.
No. No, they're not. They're not. If you think, are you cheering other people on? And you have to shamelessly plug your stuff. You really have to do that. I had somebody the other day, oh, you're already, you're already in this and you're already plugging away. Yeah, that's because if I don't talk about it, do you know me? Are you gonna know what I've got unless I tell you? And that's huge is to remember that, and that's why you get on stage. That's why you share your story, you
And
know.
that this is why you always show up professionally too. So don't come professional to a summit and show up in a one-on-one in your jammies or without your bra or not having seen a comb for a week. I mean, because it's the consistency in the fact that you are your brand.
Your
People see
marketing.
you and they get to know you and they're like, yeah, you're always marketing yourself everywhere you go and everything that you do, all of your interactions. That's why the repetition is so important. Always the same, clear, this is what I do, this is who I serve, this is how it can help you. The same over and over so that like my storytelling coach said, she's going to pop in my door at 3 a.m., wake me up and ask me what my story is. And I better know that inside and out. And that's exactly it because you have to be able to share it in all the places, right?
You do under any situation, and it's not chaotic. I mean, let's really look at it. You're on Zoom. So if we look at this simply, you're on a camera that you can turn off and have control of. You're in a Zoom room that you can exit out if it's not the aligned audience. You can turn your camera on, come back in if you need to take a breath and just like, oh, I got to step out. I'm not ready for this, and go, oh, okay. Take a deep breath, pause, take a breath, come back on and be here. Take a minute, check your teeth. I hope you can't hear that lawnmower going by. Can you hear it?
Nope.
Oh, okay. It's so super loud. But anyway, it's one of those like robotic ones, whatever. I think the guy just enjoys it a little too much because he goes through the same spot like 5 times. Anyway, but that's just the this is what we do when we work from home. But it's the ability to show up. And if I don't know my story, I'd be panicking right now. That's exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't know your story at 3 a.m., if you don't show up consistently, if you don't know your story over and over again, when something like that happens, you'll be like, oh my God, the world's going to stop. I need to stop this video, even though I'm going live and we just need to halt everything. The world's ending. That's okay. We don't do it. People film in their car now. If you could do that there, look at where you're at and don't show up like them. Don't show up like a mess. Support the people that support you. When we have the next stage this Thursday, the Devastated to Divine Alignment, which Colleen is going to be on the stage as well, and several of our members are, which supports confronting domestic violence. We're there to support the community. We're there to align with a message. It's not to be a mess. It's not to be in our trauma. It's to really rise up on a soul-led leadership basis and say, we are here to serve you. We are here uniting with you. And we really want to build the confidence and the clarity and share good messages, some tips, some tricks, things that you can pause and just stop and go within for just a second with this speaker. Connect with the speaker. The first day is a speaker panel. You can put questions in the chat. It's going to be a long event. So you're going to come with your drink. You're going to be ready to go. And if you have to leave, we respect that, but we want you to get the gifts. Those will all be online. It's going to be, with industry leaders sharing their message as well. And this way, when we come together in clarity and confidence, and we really all align with our leads, whether it's on the stage or a community, a church, anything like that, this way we can not only connect and support and change the vibration and support one another, but it's really to change the community through several people. Instead of just helping one, we're helping millions. Because if you feel better, you act better, you react better, you look better, you take care of your health and your wealth, and now you've got the wiseness of the few failures you may had in life. You bring that back home. How great is it going to be for your family, for your neighbors, for your business to grow and to be in such a higher, healthier vibration and be in your passionate purpose.
And Cole, I want to touch on something. You said that they can leave anytime they want. I want to make sure that they understand that they can come back in anytime they want. This isn't a
True.
closed door thing. And so I did have somebody at our last summit say, well, I already left. Can I come back in? I
Of
shouldn't have closed my
course.
camera. And I'm like, of course, come back in. We're always happy to have you there. But here's the thing, too. If you're not in a position where you're ready to jump on a stage, then let's go ahead and jump into the school community, because in the Voice Lab school community, we're giving you the opportunity to learn how to do this, to take baby steps, to maybe get your banner and your logo like Nicole has on hers and get seen and heard that way first, right? And then you can come on to a podcast and practice that way. In the meantime, in the community, you're getting to know people and you're building know, like, and trust there. And what happens is when you're ready to get on a stage, the opportunity is there, the community is there, the trust is there, and you are in a safe place to get up and share your business confidently, right? The first summit I did, I didn't know a soul. I literally went online, found a summit I wanted to do, paid a ton of money, went and did my presentation. It was horrible. Never heard back from anybody. The whole thing was just, it was just a mess. But I wasn't in alignment. And so come into the Voice Lab, make sure that you're in alignment, get to know people, really intermingle in the community a little bit. So you're building that foundation that's going to support you showing up and being the face and voice of your business in summits, in podcasts, in live events, right?
That's true. And that's it. We welcome you. And so for me, the message is, come in, show up, but support. We want you to support. If you can show up all day, fantastic. We'd love the support. If you want to come in and go, that's fine too. But we want to honor you where you're at. Come in, stay, come for the connection, stay for the community, and fully support one another. And that's it. So absolute leadership within, without, in your business, on a soul-led level, really, guidance. It's being in guidance and sharing. And that's why we have the Voice Lab podcast and the Voice Led group. So come in there. We'll see you there. I put all the information in the chat, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pain Point Podcast with Mary Ferris. She is great. If you missed her Monday, you're going to want to catch her this Wednesday. If you saw her Monday, you know how wonderful she is. Come bring questions. Come, give her some love in the chat. Or otherwise, we'll see you Thursday on the Voice Lab and then in the Devastated to Divine Alignment. All right, guys, have a great day. Lots of love. Bye-bye.